Introduction: How to stop your bad behavior by implementing reward and punishment incentives in your life. You will be led to curb your bad behavior. In this book, you will learn: why are bad behaviors so hard to lose? Why do we hate to lose something we already have? How is our willpower limited? How can I change my behavior more easily? Why punishment is better than reward? How can I permanently eliminate bad behavior? How can you achieve your behavior change goals in the long term? Our answers to these questions are easy to understand, simple to implement, and quick to execute. Ready to stop your bad behavior? Let's go. Why are bad behaviors so hard to lose? Human nature will always prefer to give up an uncertain long-term benefit for a certain, immediate reward, even if the benefit in question is highly desired. We are willing to wait a day longer for a greater reward if we already have to wait a year. For example, to receive an apple in 1 year or 2 apples in 1 year and 1 day. But we are not willing to wait a day longer for a bigger reward if we can have a smaller reward now. For example, get 1 apple now or 2 apples the next day. So, for the same available waiting time, i.e., 1 day, the immediate and available reward will be preferred to decrease the risk of having nothing. Why do we hate to lose something we already have? We hate to lose something we own much more than we like to gain that same thing. For example, if you have 1 apple, we would rather have a 50% chance of winning another than if we have 2 apples and we have a 50% chance of losing one. While from a mathematical point of view, the situation is the same. To solve this problem, we are willing to lose something we don't have yet. For example, you can save for your retirement, the increases you receive from your salary if you don't like to lose part of your salary. How is our will limited? As a rule, our willpower is weakened when we are forced to exercise our mental strength to refrain from a certain action. With this in mind, it is essential to reserve our willpower for the times when we need it most. In other words, if you want to lose weight and stop smoking, you will have to choose one of the 2 goals. How can I change my behavior more easily? To change a behavior, it is important to create an incentive that rewards good actions and punishes bad ones. For example, we will be more likely to pick up our dog's poop if we receive free kibble as a reward and we also avoid a fine. And if we were to choose only one of these 2 incentives, punishment would be more motivating than reward, because we hate to lose more than we like to win. Why is punishment better than reward? In addition to being more effective, punishment is more economical than reward. For example, to discourage smoking, it is cheaper to impose a fine for each cigarette smoked than to introduce a reward for each cigarette not smoked. And for the penalty to be a deterrent, it must be high, or it will not work. A small fine is just the price to pay for bad behavior. It makes the behavior acceptable. The punishment must be perceived as so painful that the bad behavior is possible. In addition to the amount, the fine will be perceived as more painful if it goes to the political party you hate rather than to a wildlife organization. How do you permanently eliminate bad behavior? One way is to establish a contract that commits you to eliminating the unwanted behavior. For a contract to have real impact, the punishment for non-compliance must be severe and immediate. And to reinforce the punishment, have public exposure as a consequence. Your goal: keep your contract to protect yourself from ridicule. For example, if you fail to lose weight, then you will take pictures of yourself in a bathing suit and post them on social media. So to make this contract, find an impartial referee who can guarantee the application of punishments for bad behavior, because without a referee, punishments can be avoided. Don't hire your friend because he or she might be lenient with you, but don't hire your enemy either. Hire a coach, for example. How can you achieve your behavior change goals in a sustainable way? To change your behavior in a sustainable way, you need to set realistic goals. Choosing ambitious goals carries a high risk of not achieving them and therefore failing. For example, it is more realistic to lose 5% of your current weight in 1 year than 10%. This goal must be consistent with your commitment contract. For example, for weight loss, the commitment contract could be centered on weekly weight control with a reward for a certain weight lost and a punishment for a certain weight regained. Conclusion: we all tend to prefer immediate rewards to long-term benefits. Fortunately, there are ways to overcome our bad habits by implementing punishment and rewards into our lives. If you like the summary, click on one of our partner links to discover carrots and sticks. Unlock the power of incentives to get things done by Ian Ayres in ebook, book or audiobook format. And if you're not interested in reading further, we recommend you discover How to Change: The Science of Getting from Where You Are to Where You Want to Be by Katie Milkman. Introduction: How do you achieve your goals? In spite of all your efforts, your goals still elude you. The reason is simple: you must first correct certain faults such as laziness, impulsiveness, or procrastination. After that, you will reach your goals more easily. In this book, you will learn: why do certain dates prompt us to change our behavior? How to fight your impulsivity? How to overcome procrastination? How to overcome laziness? How to build your self-confidence? How does your environment affect your behavior? Our answers to these questions are easy to understand, simple to implement, and quick to execute. Ready to achieve your goals? Let's go.